Welcome back to the weekend preview here for Los Alamitos Race Course. It is the weekend of October 22nd and 23rd. And now pleased to see Mike Wrona is back, the traveling man. Michael, how was your travel?
Oh, it was tremendous. It was so worthwhile, Jose. My brother and I pulled off a memorable surprise on my unsuspecting mum on the occasion of her birthday with other relatives from different parts of Australia in attendance at a restaurant in my hometown of Brisbane. And it was very memorable, very special. I feel blessed to have been able to do it, especially because there were so many moving parts involved, not the least of which was the enormity of the Los Alamitos stakes racing that weekend, when I normally wouldn't have felt comfortable even broaching the subject of perhaps skipping out for a weekend. But wow, if you can get Ed Burgart lured out of retirement and back in the booth, that's a win-win for everybody. I know you and everybody else at the track got a real kick out of hearing Ed again.
Yeah, we enjoyed having Ed on track, and I'm glad you were able to twist his arm a little bit and get him to commit to come out and help us out while you enjoy some valuable time off. So good to hear you. Good to see you back. You look fresh, refreshed, and nice photo you shared there on Twitter of your family. So does your brother reside over there in Australia?
He does.
Okay.
He actually lives in the house next door to my mother's.
Perfect.
But he kept a lid on it. He was rather paranoid, in fact. It was my brother who was the absolutely insistent that we not tell anybody because of the way that news travels the globe instantly these days. And we just didn't want to risk any angle, no matter how much of a long shot it seemed, for the cat getting out of the bag. So he had me under strict instructions to keep it under my hat. And only a couple of people knew about it at the racetrack, and it just went off flawlessly. Once I got there, it was an ordeal getting down there, and I was starting to sweat, wondering if I'd actually make it in time for the event. But fortunately, my brother and I built in enough of a buffer to allow for dramas, travel-related delays, etc. So we got away with it. It was a whirlwind trip of just a week, but very high-quality time with my brother and mother. And thanks for your good wishes. And apart from the race calling in the booth, of course, Ed did the preview show the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
We record on a Thursday afternoon. And last Thursday, I was literally over the Pacific Ocean. I was in midair on my way back to California. But little did I know that Ed Burgart was also in transit at the time, and it was sensational for him to be able to record from his vehicle in New Mexico last week. I can't thank him enough for all of the help in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the new technology, new software we're using. We're able to record from pretty much everywhere remotely. So it was nice to catch up with Ed on his way to Indiana, Horseshoe Indianapolis. By the way, I'll be giving out some selections for Horseshoe Indianapolis and their big AQHA Challenge Championship card this coming Saturday. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime,
Ed will be there for all those big races Saturday night, and Danger is going to compete, and be good to get another look at him in advance of his coming to California for this incredible Champion of Champions in December. It's just shaping up as quite an extraordinary race.
And now that you mentioned, I've got the PP's handy here for Danger's Bank of America Challenge Championship. He drew post 2 in that race number 11 on Saturday night. He's a 6-5 morning line favorite to take down the championship once again. So looking forward to that card from Horseshoe Indianapolis. Okay, let's take a look at Saturday night's program here at Los Alamitos. We got 10 races, and you want to take a look at race number 5, right?
Yes, it's a 300-yard allowance for fillies and mares, and I like the favorite here out in gate number 6. Just another commando, 2-1 on Ed's morning line. The horse had 3 straight wins to finish a 2-year-old season, then a couple of 110-yard races early in the year, has been on the bench for 8 months, but the workout for her late September was quite eye-popping.
You know, overall, if you look at her form, she's been fairly consistent when she's racing, right? So the question will be the layoff. But let's take a look at this this workout here. It was a solo workout, and boy, did she look sharp here in this 12 flat clocking. A little bit of a bobble, shifting inwards, but after that, Michael, it was nice, smooth strides.
Yes, not too many of them get down to 12 seconds flat in a gate work, for 220 yards. This is a really nice effort in the morning that shows that Just Another Commando has returned in fine fettle. And what interests me, apart from this gate work, is the fact that the last time that she ran beyond the 110 yards of those two races early this year, she was at this 300 yards distance in gate 6 in a field of 6, and she won, recording her third straight victory. She was really going great guns late last year.
Yeah, this is the last win for her. Last December, she had the gate 6 on the outside, and Cruz Mendes was aboard. And she's got a similar scenario tonight. So let's take a look at this replay. She was posted a pretty nice clocking of 15:53 this night from the outside, and the runner-up came back to win.
Yes, it's a good, strong form line, and it was her third straight win. The victory before this race, Jose, was in an overnight stakes called the Aquilina. So she actually is a stakes winner, and this was the last of the three in the sequence. Last December, same exact post position and distance. There's just a lot of things pointing to a very strong performance. And while I normally try to shy away from favourites, I don't think 2-1 is necessarily bad value, while acknowledging that the rail runner, Ms. KO, is a very good performer. She's had gate 1 quite a few times, 4 times, I think, in the last 6 or 8 starts. Has not been able to win from the rail, although she has performed well a couple of times. But I just love the post position for my choice versus Ms. KO stuck down on the rail. And I'm happy to go with her, number 6 in the 5th.
That is the start of the pick 6. So that could be a potential single also to begin that pick 6 sequence, as Just Another Commando returns from about an 8-month layoff there for the connections of Veronica, Maria Hernandez, and Jose Flores. Cruz Mendes has been awarded pretty much the last 5 or 6 starts that she's been in the barn of Jose Flores. All right, Michael, I do like Just Another Commando as well. So hopefully both of our thought processes go through Just Another Commando. And did I read that you were able to watch some of our races from Australia?
Yeah, I was on losalamitos.com, our own track website, watching the live streaming as Ed was calling the races. And there I was sitting in my mum's living room in suburban Brisbane, Australia. It was very surreal, but I got to see and hear some of the races, and the ones that I missed, I've since watched, of course, in replay back here. And so I'm up to date with all the goings on. And it's a great service, the website, losalamitos.com, not only for the live streaming, but also for all of the recorded gate works, such as the one we just showed you for my pick on Saturday night. It's all there for free.
Yes, and also you can catch Christopher Waite's analysis throughout the night there through the live video stream there on site and the Simulcast signal. So before I let you go, what do you think of that showdown? Apolitical Pets and Pressum throwing it down.
Oh, yeah. Well, that gets back to my having mentioned Danger running this Saturday night in Indiana, as certainly Danger will become the new face, the new shooter come Champion of Champions. But wow, Apolitical Pence really took it to impress him. And he has a serious chance, doesn't he, of becoming a 3-time Champion of Champions winner. It's a mouth-watering prospect well in advance of the December date on the calendar that everybody should have circled.
Yeah, and on top of that, whoever ends up winning the Super Derby in about a week, 2 weeks' time, will be pointing towards the Champion of Champions as well. So this is going to be a sensational edition of the Champion of Champions. Michael, good to see you. Good to hear your voice. And I'll see you this weekend out at Los Alamitos.
Good on ya. Great to see you, mate. Hooroo.
The Los Alamitos Pick 4s are known as night racing's best bets, with huge pools, a $1 minimum, and big payouts. It gives horse players more bang for the buck. Our racing programs begin shortly after the major daytime thoroughbred racing action, and the Los Alamitos Early Pick 4 always starts with our first race on the card. Big pools, great fun. It's the Los Alamitos Pick 4.
Golden Boy gathering them in. Photo. Golden Boy gets up to score.
Night racing's best bets, always at Los Alamitos. The Los Alamitos Halloween Carnival is back for the first time in 3 years. It's a fun night for the entire family on Saturday, October 29th. We'll have games for kids of all ages, pony rides, a costume contest for cash prizes, and more. Plus live horse action at Los Alamitos. Admission is only $3 for adults and free for children 17 and under. It'll be a howling good time. For info, call 714-820-2800 or visit losalamitos.com.
That's right. Welcome back here to the program. Christopher Wade now joining us. And Chris, Chris's picks has been on a good roll. Last week, you gave us gambling favorite for Mike Castleman on the outside. Nice winner there on your selection.
Yeah, a horse had shown big improvement from in that third lifetime, started to improve like 0.32, which is over 2 lengths on my numbers. And the horse broke well and drifted out and still won the race rather handily. And we also had 2 video horses that weekend weekend as well. That Skyline Jester paid like $8 and change. And then Fire Pit was another video horse that was bet from like 5 to 1, went off at 8 to 5. And despite breaking a length and a quarter slow, still got up to win.
Yes, so it's been a good roll. Keep it up. Now the public is wanting winners every single week, Chris. So the pressure's on. But let's take a look at a race here, race number 8 on Saturday night. It is part of the late pick 4 sequence. And I thought this was a very competitive race, a 300-yard maiden, straight maiden event here. So nobody's entered for a claiming tag. You do have a couple of first-time starters, but also a couple of runners with racing experience. And most notably, I see that you like the 5, Sweet Fire Girl.
Yeah, this is a horse for Jose Flores that in the horse's prior workouts was like a C+ worker on my numbers. So the horse did show some ability in the workouts, but this horse needed some racing to run to that decent ability in those workouts, but has improved in each subsequent start. And that last effort, when running third there at over 14 to 1, did show me some ability off those troubled efforts. Did get fractured the gate, broke slow, kind of hopped and bumped back a little bit, was crossed, lost about a length and a quarter, still showed some nice run late and finished pretty good third. So definitely on the improve and has a look in a wide open race here in the 8th event to get a nice slice of the pie.
So this is the replay from September 24th. The second place finisher will be Black Mesa, who is in this race as well. Black Mesa had the outside, so Black Mesa was the 6 horse. And you like Sweet Fire Girl, who this night was the 2 horse here. What did you see in this replay?
Yeah, but she broke. She got a little fractures inside the gate, and then broke slow. So she's fractures right there. Then she's still leaning back at the start. She kind of leaned back and was brushed away from the gate. Broke a little bit slow in the stride, which has a wide path. Was under a little bit of asking midway, but finished pretty well the final half of the affair. Better than shown effort, and on own throughout, and still finished better than looked third there, and definitely improving and galloped out relatively well. And the horse is slowly improving. Like nice little gallop out there. Actually galloped out better than Black Mesa, but still this horse steadily improving and with a better getaway tonight. Was moving as the gates opened up, kind of leaned back at the start. They're off the videotape, and was bumped away from the barrier and skied out a little bit. Still showed decent speed. Was finishing better to look. And despite being outrun by the aforementioned Black Mesa, this horse did show a nice turn of foot, big improvement on my charts, and 4th lifetime start at 5 to 1. Good, a nice slice of the pie with expected improvement. Better getaway tonight.
And she is one of the most likely race runners in this spot, and I think that could benefit her here. We have an 046 maiden and 045 maiden, a couple of 043 maidens as well, and she is listed at 5 to 1 on Ed Berger's morning line, and she only missed second by about a neck behind Black Mesa, who had the outside post that night. So this is an interesting spot because you have runners that I think, we kind of know what the 4 is up to this point. We kind of know what the 7 is up to this point. And I think that gives you an ability to kind of look to somewhere else like the 5, right?
Yeah, so I'll give her a nice chance at 5 to 1 to get a nice slice of the pie. And she's in a wide open event. Yeah. Of course, there's a look here to be a factor in all the wagers, the pick 4s and the pick 3s and all your wagers. So 5 to 1, nice price, steadily improving runner there for Jose Flores. And that's look here's as one of our selections in that 8th event.
All right, so that will be Sweet Fire Girl, Christopher Wade selection, race some rate, start of the late pick 3 on Saturday night. And it's going to be a busy weekend, Chris. Busy weekend on the simulcast signal. We do have Horseshoe Indianapolis with the Bank of America Challenge Championship card this upcoming Saturday night. What else are you looking at there for the nightlines?
Yeah, we're handicapping all 11 races from Indianapolis. We're also doing races 3 through 12 at Lone Star and the last 4 at Evangeline. So it's going to be wide open races, and they won't be Danger. Danger on my figures to win by a length and a half and come back to California at almost a $2 million victory in his lifetime earnings there for Dean Fry and company.
If I could lock up 6 to 5 on the morning line for Danger, I would take it, but we know we're not going to get that.
You're lucky if you get 3-5.
Yes, he will be a short price favorite there. Gate number 2, race number 11 on Saturday night from Horseshoe, Indianapolis. So let's get to work. Let's get busy. Chris, got to get those selections out for the viewing public on the Nightlines program. Best of luck with Sweet Fire Girl, race number 8.
All right, boss. You have a good weekend now. See you this Saturday night. It'll be a busy night.
See you there.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos, like the running of the Golden State Million Futurity on Sunday, October 30th, with a purse of more than $1 million and the top juveniles in the sport.
But cyber attack, look at Jericho, and now party politics.
And the Los Alamitos Super Derby on Sunday, November 6th, with one of the greatest derby lineups in recent history.
Bomb Cyclone again comes raining down on the opposition. Scoops Dynasty.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos. The Los Alamitos Pick Fours are known as night racing's best bets, with huge pools, a $1 minimum, and big payouts. It gives horse players more bang for the buck. Our racing programs begin shortly after the major daytime thoroughbred racing action, and the Los Alamitos Early Pick 4 always starts with our first race on the card. Big pools, great fun. It's the Los Alamitos Pick 4.
Golden Boy gathering them in. Photo. Golden Boy gets up to score.
Night racing's best bets, always at Los Alamitos.
Well, Professor, good to have you back. And what a field we already have assembled, kind of making their way to the Champion of Champions. How about, who might we get out of the Super Derby to join that tremendous field? I think it's going to be sensational. One of the best fields assembled.
Absolutely. You can't ask for any better. All those big stars advancing. Golden Boy, the AQHA champion from last year. Bomb Cyclone, what a runner. What a performance once again here at Los Alamitos. 3 for 3 here at Los Al. Scoop Dynasty. I mean, what a season that horse is having. 6 for 6 in 2022. Has already won a couple of derbies here at Los Al and now looking for the Super Derby. And, of course, Apolitical Candy V gets in to the final, the All-American Derby winner, even though he didn't win his trial. That was a big surprise there in that trial. Jose Corona Yo at a big price ends up upsetting Apolitical Candy V, but it doesn't matter. It's all about getting in the final, right? And Corona Yo, a very good runner. We've seen him finish in the top 2 in some nice races. This time gets the victory. So all in all, just an outstanding group of runners. A lot of them, Jose, are colts, which is pretty cool to see. So for one of those colts, winning the Super Derby is huge.
Yeah, it's going to elevate their potential as a sire moving forward. But looking forward to that final for the Golden State. There's going to be the Super Derby in a couple of weeks. We got the Golden State Million Futurity about a week's time from this weekend at Los Alamitos. In a couple of weeks there. It's heating up, Professor. It's heating up. We're almost towards the tail end of October, which means championship season has arrived. Why don't we recap one of those great performances last week from Bomb Cyclone?
Absolutely. Got a chance to talk to Chris Odell right after taking the winner's circle photo after Bomb Cyclone's big win. Another daylight victory from Bomb Cyclone. Here's Chris Odell. First, let's watch the race, right? There we go. Let's see that big victory from Bomb Cyclone, and then we'll go to Chris Odell and a few awards right after winning, after he won this race.
All right, let's take a look at this replay, and we'll listen to the race call.
Coveted final field. Set. Ready for the first trial. Racing. Bomb Cyclone is away beautifully with Apolitical Famous V and Inspire and Benevolence running a good race, but Bomb Cyclone has drawn well clear of his rivals. Bomb Cyclone again comes raining down on the opposition. He is torrential. Bomb Cyclone more than 3 lengths, maybe Inspire second. Apolitical Famous V up there for third, but so are Toxic Relationship, Letty Cartel and Benevolent, very busy for the Superfecta.
Well, Professor, he's back. He's back in action. He looks sensational. Eduardo Nicasio was just along for the ride. Sensational run.
Yeah, and it seems like Eduardo just kind of let the horse kind of take his time, let him get rolling, because right when you go past the gap, when they went past the gap, that's when he just turned on those rockets and just put away the field. Big victory here at Los Alamitos. Every time that he's run here at Los Al, multiple length victory from this outstanding runner, Bomb Cyclone. And now cannot wait to see the Super Derby with this tremendous group. Last year, if you remember, Apolitical Patty, Flashback, they put on a show. Now, what a quartet we have. What a great 10 horses in this race. Is just very, very strong group of runners. So looking forward to that outstanding race.
And just to mention the field, eking out in an absolute photo finish in the last trial of the night was Scoop's Dynasty, Professor, who is 6 for 6 now in 2022. That tells you the strength of the field that will be assembled when an undefeated runner was able to sneak in the final trial of the night.
Yeah, they had to hold their breath a little bit because he was a little bit in, then a little bit out, got kind of bumped a rival as they were running. And but again, second half of the race, that class showed up, and Scoop's Dynasty gets the victory in that last try.
You caught up with Christopher Odell. Let's catch up with Chris here talking about Bomb Cyclone.
Well, all I can say is wow.
Yeah, I was watching kind of live down here by the paddock, and the closer he got to me, man, he's just like poetry in motion. I'm telling you, he just is really something, and we're so blessed. I mean, me and Connie and Nicasio and the people at the barn is, like I said, sometimes we say these things and it's kind of cliche, but man, these horses don't come along very often like this. We've been lucky, so we're so happy.
And also to coming off of that 4th place finish in his Derby, to see him put this type of performance, that's also has to be like, maybe you can excel in a way, right? Because Bomb Cyclone is back.
We had this horse has been troubled with a lot of just little things, and we had some little issues. I'm not saying we should have won the All-American Derby, but we probably should have ran second. And I did the best I could to get him ready, and he ran the best that he could at the time. So, but we're happy that he's come back good, and he put in a very good race tonight, and we're just so tickled.
Absolutely, 3 for 3 here at Los Al.
3 for 3.
Well, there it is, Professor. Looking forward to that sensational field assembled, and in just a couple of weeks' time here for the Super Derby. Bomb Cyclone looking back like his old self here, winning the 2 million futurity last year.
Yeah, and like you always say, Jose, things just heat up here at Los Al. Next week, the Golden State Million futurity, then the Super Derby final. This week, however, we got some really nice stakes races coming up. The Azure 3 overnight handicap, $20,000 purse. A solid field of 5 runners, some stakes winners in this group. Cattail Cove, a stakes winner. Mr. Tornado, who's faced some of the best horses out here, himself a stakes winner. Up and Adam won the restricted Grade 1 Spencer Childers earlier this year. In Catella Avenue and Gentleman Chuck, they have some stakes experience as well and very capable runners. So compact field, but very, very competitive race. And you got to tip your hat to Cattail Cove, Jose. This will be his 20th stakes appearance of his career. And we have a graphic here about Cattail Cove. Look at all those stakes appearances and look at all that, those tremendous races that he's been a part of. The Los Al 2 Million, the Robert Boniface Los Alamitos Championship, the Brad McKenzie, the Super Derby, the Go and Go a couple of times. Just an outstanding horse. He's got 1 stakes win, but he certainly knocked on the door many times during his career.
Yes, just the race that vividly I remember was Los Alamitos 2 million futurity. That was the last 2 million was the last race call of Ed Burgart's career up to that point, until we lured him out of retirement to fill in for Michael Wrona. But that's when Cattail Cove finished second in the 2 million. And look at that list. What a tremendous racehorse there, just dancing at the top of his game throughout his career.
Yeah, and not something that we can find out really quickly, but I'd love to know right now, active horses, how many horses have more than 20 appearances in a stakes race? I can't think there's too many quarter horses with that many stakes appearances over the course of their career. Still active right now. Cattail Cove is certainly one of very, very few that can say that right now.
Yeah, and look, just to give you a comparison, he's got 31 lifetime starts.
Yeah.
20 of those are stakes, are going to be stakes appearances. And then if you count trials in between those races, I mean, he's been pretty much just racing in stakes and trials.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So we got, let's count real quick. You got the Futurity, the 2 million, the Governor's Cup Derby, the Super Derby, Southern California Derby. The Vessels Maturity has trials, Jose. The Brad McKenzie. So out of those 20 races, he's running trials 7 times. So that's 27 out of, just say 31.
31, yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. So congrats here to Luke Newcomb, the owner. I know he was thrilled when he got that stakes win a few weeks ago. Actually, yeah, a few months ago, back in July. So Cattail Cove going for another stakes appearance here in the Azure 3 overnight handicap on Saturday night. Professor, what do we got in store for Sunday at Los Al?
Well, Sunday we got the Wild West Futurity, a $96,000 race. We don't have the complete list of races just yet, but we know the feel for the Wild West Futurity. It's going to be headed by the fastest qualifier, One Sweet Duck, a filly by One Sweet Jess, out of Duck Dash and Go, a multiple stakes winner here at Los Alamitos. Very quick mare, very fast runner, won a lot of races. She's owned and bred by Lex Fabrizio, and Lex bought Duck Dash and Go once her career has started. Picked her up, I believe he mentioned to me around her sophomore campaign, and this is the first baby out of Duck Dash and Duck. One Sweet Duck, and what a filly she's been. She's won. She's qualified to the Kindergarten Futurity. Had some good races in the Intermountain region. Then comes back here and just had a really nice performance in the Wild West trials. And talking to Lex, he said how much he enjoyed watching the drone view of One Sweet Duck's victory, because she just kept going and going and going, getting farther away from her rivals.
And complete list of qualifiers: One Sweet Duck, Jessica Cruz, Jess Yaya, Monica's Favorite, My Lethal Jess, Special Gift, Secret Warning, Sagatuya, Sweet Caroline, and BF Viral Interest there, leading the field for Sunday's Wild West Futurity here at Los Alamitos.
And we got to mention the second fastest qualifier, Jessica Cruz, owned by Gary Laramie, trained by Elena Andrade, and had a chance to talk to Elena earlier this week about Jessica Cruz, and kind of a fun story because she also trained the mother of Jessica Cruz, Just Cuz. So here's Elena.
We're happy to be in the barn of trainer Elena Andrade with the second fastest qualifier to the Wild West Futurity, Jessica Cruz. Nice victory in the trials, Elena. In the way that you got this horse in your barn, great story, if you don't mind sharing it with us.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Glade Van Tessel, sent her to me. He kind of told me her background, and he thought that she would fit perfectly in my barn, since I am kind of a smaller barn and she needs a little extra care. So we got to talking and stuff, and pretty cool story though. We just got to talking. He never told me who she was by or anything, and I was like, she sounds very familiar to one that I had previously, years that I did really well with, and come to find out that I trained her mama, just because.
Just cuz, and you kind of took really special care, like you said, very hands-on with her. You used to walk her pretty much every day, right?
Yeah, you couldn't put her on the hot walker. And then he told me the same thing with this one. She's like, she needs special care, you have to hand walk her. And so I was like, no problem, so it paid off though, because he told me, she's really fast, and she really showed that night. And I still think she's not, we both kind of discussed it, Glade and I, and we said she's still not to her full potential, just because she's kind of a little skittish and flighty and stuff. And she saw the grandstands and the lights. It was her first start here, and she still was like not even in second gear yet. So
looking forward to seeing second out here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
How about that, Professor? He's like, how about getting a call? He's like, yeah, can you take this horse in? This how this one acts, needs some extra time. And then I was like, it reminds me of another horse I used to have. Well, I trained the mom. Well, that's pretty cool there. Jessica Cruz broke sharp on trials night, Professor. And that's a pretty cool story that she trained the dam, and now she gets trained the filly here, Jessica Cruz.
Absolutely. And did I mention the purse for this race? The Wild West, $96,000. So a nice chunk of change for these runners. And Lex was also mentioning how a lot of people from the Intermountain Northwest region, they all look forward to this race, because it's towards the later part of the year. It starts getting cold in the regions that they're in. So they start pointing their runners for this race. A little bit nice warm weather here. And they can maybe stick around and stay here at Los Al, maybe compete in, if they have to, in the maiden stakes, hopefully in the Winter Derby. In One Sweet Duck's case, Lex mentioned that he paid her into the Los Alamitos Oaks for next year. So that'll be the big race that he'll be pointing one sweet duck next season. And of course, the Los Alamitos Oaks, now a grade 1 race. So certainly a lot to look forward to for Lex Fabrizio and his homebred filly, one sweet duck. But of course, got to get to the Wild West final first and see how she performs.
It's going to be a fun one. That will be this upcoming Sunday here at Los Alamitos. To wrap up the show, Professor, I've got the PPs for the Bank of America Challenge Championships at Horseshoe Indianapolis. I'll be providing some analysis there for the team on site. So if you're watching the live single, simulcast single from Horseshoe Indianapolis, you get to see some analysis from yours truly about a few selections there. And of course, Ed Burghardt, who joined us on the show last week, Professor, he was on his way to Indiana. He was he was gracious enough to join us from his car as he took a little bit of a pit stop and did the previous show.
Hey, there's no stopping Ed Burghardt.
No,
when it's about talking about quarter horse racing, he could be anywhere. He could be, climbing El Capitan at Yosemite. It don't matter. He's going to stop and talk about quarter horse racing. And he actually did a blog with some analysis as well. We'll actually have that in the Nightlines program on Saturday. Okay. So those picking up the program either at the satellite locations or here on track, they can catch up with Ed Burghardt's selections. Chris Wade will also have a nice analysis, and it's great to hear that yourself will also be putting some picks and analyzing those races. So local handicappers will have 3 of the best in quarter horse racing taking a look at that really nice program. We're going to bring the entire card here at Los Alamitos as well. I think the first race is at 3 p.m. here California time. And, of course, we'll bring all those big races throughout the night. So looking forward to the Bank of America. And, of course, the big star that night is Danger, the world champion.
Danger will be in race 11, which will be the featured challenge championship, Bank of America. He'll be listed in gate 2 at 6-5 on the morning line. He should be an expected short price favorite to win. Is this going to be his third try at winning this
definitely
race?
Defending. He's definitely the defending champion.
Yeah, so he's gonna try to earn another stop there, another win on his resume in the Challenge Championship. So looking forward to that terrific car from Horseshoe Indianapolis. Ed Burghardt will be on site enjoying the races, so keep an eye on his Twitter. I'm sure he'll be active there from Indianapolis.
Did you pick Danger to win?
Yes, of course. Those was one of the races where it kind of like, if I could lock up 6-5 on the morning line, Professor, I would, because we know we're not going to get that price. He's going to be a short price favorite. I will have analysis for the distaff. I will have analysis for
under 16, right?
Yep. I will have analysis for the distance challenge, the 870, and maybe a 2-year-old race around the car. So I look forward to that there on my Twitter, and of course from Horseshoe Indianapolis, the racetrack.
Good job. Well done. Can't wait for those nice big races. Can't wait for the weekend here at Los Alamitos as well. The Azure 3, just for some historians, they'll remember Azure 3 won the Vestas Maturity here at Los Alamitos in 1978, but the year before that ran second to Dash for Cash in the Champion of Champions in 1977. So a very accomplished horse. Made over $200,000 in the 1970s. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Translated to money now.
That's a lot of money in the 70s there. So the Azure 3 with the feature race on Saturday, and then we'll have the Los Alamitos Wild West Futurity on Sunday. Professor, have you selected the judges for the Halloween Carnival?
Are you volunteering? Is that what I'm hearing? Oh no, you can't volunteer because you might have a contestant, right?
I might have a contestant. I'm not
a contestant or two.
Yes, a contestant or two there. Halloween Carnival costume contest Saturday, October 29th at 6 p.m. Los Alamitos Racecourse. Come on out. It's a fun family-filled event for the entire family. Come visit us.
You know, the stewards think they'll have the toughest job that night, kind of look at all the races. No, it's the costume contest judges. That's just the stuff.
Yes, it is. It is. Don't allow any of the contestants to kind of know, some of the judges, because they might start passing out a few candies, a few sweets, and kind of get them on their good side, Professor.
Some paydays.
Yes, some paydays.
You mentioned it last time, yeah.
Yes, paydays there. I'll take a Mars bar, please.
No, none of that. None of that. I'm there watching. I'm kind of doing the announcing there, master of ceremonies. Oh no, this is gonna be a very, very tough contest to win, but a lot of fun as well. We're gonna have all those people of all ages here enjoying the fun at Los Al.
I had a text message arrive earlier today, Professor, from an employee. I'm not going to mention who, but she is excited to enter the employee costume contest. So I've got someone you might know that is eager to show up for the employee costume contest.
I think I know who it is, and we'll have to make sure we get a photo of that and show it in one of the future episodes here on the preview show.
Yeah, that would be fun. Okay, Professor, good talking to you. Let's have a good weekend of racing, and looking forward to the weeks ahead here with great stakes action at Los Alamitos.
Thanks so much, Jose. Have a great week.
Favorite Cartel sired 3 of the first 4 Golden State Million finalists, including the Fast Hill.
Cyber Attack is putting on quite a display of speed tonight.
Meanwhile, in Texas, a Favorite Cartel won the Dash for Cash Derby.
But Favorite Bluesman, he streaks to victory.
At the major sales, 38 Favorite Cartels sold for $100,000 or more. Whether racing or selling, Favorite Cartel can put you in the big game. Contact Burns Ranch today.
The Los Alamitos Halloween Carnival is back for the first time in 3 years. It's a fun night for the entire family on Saturday, October 29th. We'll have games for kids of all ages, pony rides, a costume contest for cash prizes, and more. Plus live horse action at Los Alamitos. Admission is only $3 for adults and free for children 17 and under. It'll be a howling good time. For info, call 714-820-2800 or visit losalamitos.com.